السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما يا أرحم الراحمين. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal, teach us what benefit us from what He taught us and increase us in knowledge. May Allah reward you. I can't imagine coming in such a beautiful day on a Sunday to sit down and listen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make this very heavy in your hasanat scale. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. So, manners. Since it's a small group, I'm going to make this very intimate and interactive, inshallah. You know what's happening right now? Things are, Shaitan is so clever. Like I mentioned, I think yesterday or the day before, that he made me and you feel just because you pray and you fast, khalas, you're done. You are the best Muslim. You wear the hijab, you wear the niqab, khalas, nobody can touch you. Yani, your duties as a Muslim are done. And even us, as parents, our main struggle is not to produce Umar ibn al-Khattab and Salah ad-Din. Our main struggle is to make our children pray. This is how bad things are. Like I said, as a Muslim, if you tell me I pray and I fast Ramadan, literally you're telling me I breathe. But it became so much, because now I'm comparing myself to the people around me that they hardly practice. So I feel so good that I pray and I fast. But it naturally, if you just think about it, is it possible, yani, Islamically, is there a Muslim and don't pray? They don't go together. Like milk and black, they don't go together. When I was looking at the level of the companions of the Sahaba, they spent their life in jihad. They spent their life in conveying this message, traveling. Rasulullah ﷺ himself, a man came to visit him. He went to 9 houses, not one thing to give a guest. Go home and open your fridge. It will fall on you, the food. And the house of the best man ever created. They used to stay days with nothing being cooked in the house. They struggled, they strived. They have Jannah right in front of them. And we are really struggling just to keep the 5 daily prayers. If you look at all the ahadith, have you ever seen a hadith that, Ya Rasulullah, my cousin don't pray? You don't see this hadith. As a matter of fact, listen to this. I want you, especially the men, I want you all to imagine you are a companion living at the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And I want you to think of Fajr prayer. How do you get up for Fajr at the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam? I want you to think about that. No alarm. No water ready. Open the tap and start making wudu. No car or a bike, anything to take me to the masjid. It could be freezing, it could be extremely hot, it could be muddy. We all seen Medina. And forget if I wake up on janaba, that's a different story. With all that, the Sahaba used to say, If we miss someone in Fajr, we used to doubt his Iman. Fajr in Jama'ah. No alarm, no water, hot water ready, no nothing. And they used to say if we miss him in Jama'ah, we used to doubt his Iman. He has some nifaq on him. Wow. Now, like a brother before I came, said, "Oh, Sheikh, I bought a new car. The steering wheel is heated." The new Range Rover, the steering wheel is heated. You can make it. And I go to a masjid, air conditioned, 2 inches carpet, subhanallah, and still we're struggling. So I found out, wallahi, the only way to catch up with the companions, manners. To fix our manners. Why? How? This is what he will conclude today, bi'idhnillah ta'ala. Allah Azza wa Jal, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have combined the ibadat that we do on a daily basis with manners. Where? Same surah that we quoted yesterday. قَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ. Successful are the believers. What are their characteristics? Listen carefully. الَّذِينَ هُمْ فِي صَلَاتِهِمْ خَاشِعُونَ عبادة. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ عَنِ اللَّغْوِ مُعْرِضُونَ أخلاق. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِلزَّكَاةِ فَاعِلُونَ عبادة. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِفُرُوجِهِمْ حَافِظُونَ أخلاق. Look our deen. It's not only salat and zakat and siyam. Ibadah, akhlaq. Ibadah, akhlaq. Ibadah, akhlaq. They go hand in hand. Unfortunately, we have chosen the ibadah because the akhlaq is hard. To be kind and loving and caring and forgiving and courteous all the time, it's very hard. So the ibadah is easy. Yallah, 5 minutes up and down, kharsat al-salat. I fast in Ramadan, everybody is fasting, it's cute, we're done. This ayah, or these ayat, have proven that akhlaq without deen, zero. And deen without akhlaq is zero. What? If I pray 5 times a day, first row, fast Monday and Thursday, you name it, and I am rude to my spouse, I am cheating, lying, zero. And if I have the best of manners, everybody talk about my manners, but I don't pray, I don't fast, I don't give my zakat, zero. Zero. Sheikh, what are you saying? I'm going to prove it to you. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, a man came to him and he said, Ya Rasulullah, my neighbor, listen carefully, my neighbor, she fasts all day and she's up all night. She fasts not only Ramadan, the optional fast, and she prays tahajjud every night. Usually in Islam, if you want to praise someone's deen, what do you say? Sa'im, qa'im, right? That's the highest level any Muslim can reach, that he's always fasting and is performing qiyam every day. So this woman reached the peak. Forget about the 5 daily salawat, forget about the qiyam, the siyam of Ramadan. She has mastered everything. Now she's up to a level that she fasts all the time and she performs tahajjud daily. Okay? So she is the woman that we are all looking up to. We want to become like her. But, listen carefully. Ya Rasulullah, she she harms her neighbors with her tongue. Let me repeat. Siyam, tahajjud, sadaqat, you name it. She harms her neighbor with her tongue. تؤذي جيرانها بلسانها. Backbiting, slandering, lying, cursing, foul language. It's not detailed on the hadith. All it says, she harms her neighbors with her tongue. What did Rasulullah ﷺ say? Are you ready? هي في النار. She's in the hellfire. Ya Rasulullah, she prays tahajjud, she fasts every day. هي في النار. I made a video, a woman that prays qiyam and end up in hellfire. Of course, everybody clicked and millions of views. It's true. So that showed us that ibadat alone is not enough. She reached the epic of ibadat, this woman, the peak. But her akhlaq were lousy. She's in the hellfire. Allahu Akbar. Another hadith that's very common. Hadith al-Muflis. The hadith of the bankrupt. How many people, raise your hand, know the hadith of the bankrupt? Okay. Listen to this hadith. Listen at the start and listen at the end. Rasulullah ﷺ said, I'm going to paraphrase. A man will come on the day of judgment with mountains of hasanat, salat, siyam, qiyam, tahajjud. لكنه ظلم هذا, but he oppressed this one and he cursed this one and he took the rights of this one, so they will all wait for him on the day of judgment. You know, there's a place on the day of judgment. We finished and we got so excited, we're about to enter Jannah. Okay? There's a place called Al-Qantara. Okay, I'm about to enter Jannah. I'm right coming, and I'm so excited. I'm going to enter Jannah. I have 50 years of salat, siyam, all the stuff that you love. And then I come and I see a line of people. Yes, Habibi. Sami, what do you want from me? Wallahi, ya Sheikh, in dunya, you spread rumors against me. Please forgive me. Habibi, no forgiving. Now, the currency is only good deeds and bad deeds. Give me 5,000 good deeds. Tfaddal. Here you go. Finished. Another guy came. Yes, when in dunya, you have backbitten me and said some things about me that are not true. I want 3,000 hasana. Long story short, I keep looking and the line is getting longer and longer. And then I'm out. That's why the hadith is called the bankrupt. I am bankrupt. All these mountains are gone. So the last guy, another guy comes and he says, give me your hasanat. Oh, Habibi, wallahi, I'm out. No problem. Take some of my evil deeds. Look, imagine a hadith that started by saying a person that has mountains of hasanat, and Rasulullah ﷺ said, فَيَأْخُذْ, he will take their evil deeds, وَيُلْقَى فِي جَهَنَّمْ. A hadith that started with a person that has tons of good deeds, ended by saying that this person will be thrown in the hellfire. Allahu Akbar. And we see most of us, most Muslims, all their focus about right now, salat and siyam. Don't get me wrong. Like I said before, these are a must. But without good manners, you just heard two authentic hadith that proves that ibadat alone are not sufficient. They have to be accompanied hand in hand with manners. Rasulullah ﷺ said, إِنَّمَا بُعِثْتُ لِأُتَمِّمَ مَكَارِمَ الْأَخْلَاقِ. If you know a little bit of Arabic, when this word إِنَّمَا comes, it's called adat hasr. Yani, what comes after it is exclusively. I exclusively came to perfect manners. I exclusively came to perfect manners. And he is the one, alayhi salatu wassalam, that was praised by Allah, وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَى خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. You know, when someone praises you, one of the most important things to look at is that who is the one that's praising me? He could be a lousy person. Who cares about his testimony? But the one who's saying that Rasulullah ﷺ is ala khuluqin azim is none but the Azim himself. طيب. All that was just introduction to show you how important akhlaq and how essential it is to be accompanied with ibadat. Now, what are some of the virtues, what are some of the rewards of having good manners that will encourage me to have good manners? Wallahi, each one of them is better than the other. Lend me your heart and let's discuss them one by one. Number one, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told us to have good manners. Which hadith? Hadith when Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, اتق الله حيثما كنت وأتبع السيئة الحسنة تمحها وخالق الناس بخلق حسن. This hadith is three statements. Three statements. And if your child said, or anyone said, please give me only one hadith to follow, too many hadith, tell them just follow this hadith and I will love you, mama. I will love you, baba. That's only this hadith. That's all I want from you. Why? Because this hadith summarized Islam. All Islam is in this hadith. اتق الله حيثما كنت. Have taqwa of Allah wherever you are. That covers my relationship with Allah. Right? Wherever you are. Most people, when they go on vacation, they also go on vacation from Allah. Oh, nobody knows us here. Yallah. اتق الله حيثما كنت. Second, وأتبع السيئة الحسنة تمحها. Follow an evil deed with a good deed, it will erase that evil deed. Yani, I slipped, I did something wrong, I lied, astaghfirullah. Follow it immediately with a good deed. Give it charity, pray 2 rak'ah, read few pages of the Quran. This covers my relationship with myself. And the last one, which is our shahid, وَخَالِقِ النَّاسِ, and have good manners with nas, not Muslim, mankind. Have good manners with mankind. So the first part, my relationship with Allah, the second part, my relationship with myself, and the third part, my relationship with the creation, with all mankind. So number one reason why should I have good manners, number one, if you want to write them down, is I am following the order of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam in this hadith. Have good manners with everybody. Second, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam he said, and listen to this huge, amazing reward. Rasulullah, he said, let me just find the page. Ya Rasulullah, who is the best? Now first, I'm following the order of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Second, Ya Rasulullah, who's the best among the believers? He said, those with the best of manners. أكمل المؤمنين. The best of the believers is not the one who has a huge beard, who goes to Hajj every year. Look at the answer. The one with the best of manners. Third, Rasulullah ﷺ was asked about the most common deeds that lead people to Jannah. ما أكثر يا رسول الله, what is the most deeds that lead people to Jannah? He said, تقوى الله وحسن الخلق, having taqwa of Allah and good manners. So it will lead me, it is the most reason why would I go to Jannah. حسن الخلق. Next, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he said, nothing is heavier in the scale on the day of judgment than good manners. أثقل شيء في الميزان. On the day of judgment, there will be an actual scale with two pans, one for good deeds and one for evil deeds, an actual scale. Some scholars said the person will be weighed with his deeds. Some scholars said, no, the deeds will be weighed alone. And some said, no, both of them will be weighed. So the heaviest thing on the scale on the day of judgment is good manners. Next. Subhanallah. Listen to this one. إن أحبكم إلي وأقربكم مني مجلسا يوم القيامة. The most beloved to me among you and the closest to me on the day of judgment. Closest to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, yani Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is in the best place ever. You are the closest to him, and you are the most beloved to him. Who are these people, Ya Rasulullah? أحاسنكم أخلاقا, the one with the best of manners. Again, the one with the best of manners will be most beloved to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Now listen to this one. Usama bin Sharik radiyallahu anhu, he said, we were sitting with the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and it seemed as if birds were sitting on our heads due to silence. When they sit with Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, كأن الطير على رؤوسنا. Yani we're sitting, imagine that you're sitting here now and there's a bird on your head and you don't want the bird to fly. This is an expression to show how focused they were and they don't want to miss nothing. And a Bedouin came and he said, who among the servants of Allah is the most beloved to Allah? The Sahaba used to have so much respect for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that they used to be shy to ask him questions. So they used to wait for a Bedouin to come, because the Bedouins are what? Boom, blunt. يعني وجهك دغري. They used to be blunt. So they used to wait, get excited when a Bedouin is in the crowd because he's going to get up and ask immediately. So he said, Ya Rasulullah, who's the most beloved person to Allah? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he said, the one with the best of manners. Wallahi, if I stop here and I don't have to mention any more rewards, isn't that sufficient? You are the most beloved to Allah. You are the most beloved to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the heaviest thing in the scale, the most thing that lead people to Jannah, having good manners. But we're not going to stop here. We're going to give you more, inshallah. Next, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, I guarantee a home in Jannah, in the highest place in Jannah, for the one with the best of manners. A guarantee coming from the As-Sadiq Al-Amin, the all-truthful. I guarantee a house in Jannah for the one with the best of manners. Now add to the list, guaranteed a house in Jannah. A man came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Ya Rasulullah, what is the best thing a abd can ever acquire? Great manners. All these hadith are 100% authentic. And there's a lot more, believe it or not. Now, of course, the question is, after all these rewards, who's going to name them for me? Name one of them. إن شاء الله فكرك جاي لهون تقعد تطلع علي وتطلع عليك يعني. Name one of them. Having good manners. Just one. You see, you have to be ready when you sit here, especially if you're first in the first row. You could cheat. Huh? Okay, you get a house in Jannah. All right. What about you, sister? Name one. Huh? Closest, most beloved to Allah Azza wa Jal. Okay, my buddy right there. Allahu Akbar. Sister? Name one of them. Excellent, excellent. MashaAllah. طيب. Now the obvious question is, what's the obvious question? What is good manners? طيب ya Sheikh, we get the house in Jannah, we get the most beloved to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we get this, we get that. But what entails? How do I know if I have good manners or not? How do I know if I have good manners or not? طيب. How are we doing with the time? 15 minutes? Okay. Abdullah ibn al-Mubarak, one of the greatest scholars, rahimahullah, he defined what is or what are good manners. He said, بسط الوجه وبذل المعروف وكف الأذى. Three things are the ingredients of good manners. Number one, بسط الوجه, having a cheerful, smiley face. Let me see a smile, everybody. Nice smile, everyone. There's one brother in the back who's not smiling. What should we do with him? Give him the mic to smile? So, smiling. You know, subhanAllah, I heard the story before I came. A man, non-Muslim, he was going, he said, that's it. I'm done with life. He's going to commit suicide. He's going to commit suicide. He said, on my way to the pharmacy to buy a few things to swallow and whatever, a man passed by and he said, good morning, have a nice day, with a smile. I don't know the guy. He doesn't know him. He said, Wallahi, I changed my mind. I said, there's still good in this dunya. This guy does not even know me. He gave me a smile. The power of a smile. Wallah, you don't know how powerful your smile is. Smile, ya akhi. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, we all know the hadith. Smiling is ish? Charity, sadaqah. Ya habibi, my sister, give sadaqah to your husband. My brother, give sadaqah to your wife. Al-aqrabun awla bil ma'ruf. The more the closer the people to you, the more they are deserving of your good, ma'ruf. And the smiling is, subhanallah, does not cost anything. You know, one of our shuyukh, he wants to encourage people to smile. You know what he said? He said, Ya jama'a, lisnan manun awra. He said, the teeth are not awra. You can show your teeth. Smile, ya akhi, smile. So subhanallah, it's an amazing feeling when you see someone constantly smiling. So this is a sign of your good manners. And especially you sisters. I don't know about you here in Australia, but the sisters come to me in America and they complain, Sheikh, I see my sister, any Muslim sister in Walmart, in Target, in all these shopping centers, and I smile and Assalamu alaikum. She frowns and she continues. طب why ya akhti? What did she do? Smile. Smile. And imagine you are getting hasanat for that smile. Smile for the person you know and the person you do not know, the Muslim you know and the Muslim you do not know. Smiling is a sign of good manners. As a matter of fact, imagine you constantly see someone frowning all the time frowning. Wallahi, it will make you depressed. You know, you go home, your wife is always frowning. A sister came to me and she was complaining about her husband. And all the time, I was trying, and I figured what's going on immediately. I start throwing jokes, and she was like, so sister, do you smile? Yeah, sometimes. So let's start here. When was the last time your husband see you smile? And unfortunately, many times with strangers, they smile to the ears. And when I come home, frowning. Lesh ya habibi? Why? Why? This is your family. So number one sign of good manners, that you have good manners, is always your smiling. This is the easiest one amongst the three. So you're going to promise me all, you're going to do the first one, right? Inshallah. Show me beautiful smile, sister. Allahu Akbar. Beautiful. Second, badl al-ma'ruf. This is also good manners. Doing good. Period. Good. Any good. Doing good. Whether it is, you know, one of the greatest good that you and me belittle, we do not give it so much weight. You know what it is? When your sister tells you, I'm having a hard time, sitting down and listening to her complaint, listening to her issue, listening to your brother's issue. That listening is one of the greatest manners. Side note. I'm surprised talking for half an hour, and this is my first side note. I always go many side notes. Side note. If I come, what's your name again, Habibi? Saeed, right? Saeed, you're coming to me and you're telling me, Wallahi, I'm having a problem with my son. Wallahi, my son is doing this and that. This is a very common mistake. You know what I do? Look, me too. I'm having a problem with my son also. Wrong. Now you turn the attention on you. Habibi, I'm not coming to listen to your problems. I'm here to discuss my problem. And I forget about him and I start talking about my problem. Yeah, this is a very big mistake. Or sometimes it's not about a problem. It's not about a problem. Listen to this, we're talking about akhlaq today, right? I come to you and say, oh, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. My son finished the first juzu. Wallahi, I'm so proud. My son finished 2 juzu. We're talking about my son now. Let the person enjoy his moment. Let them enjoy their moment. Even though inside you're boiling to tell them about your son, just wait. Really? Mabrook, wallahi, I'm so happy for you. Alhamdulillah. Let's do something for him. Wallahi, it's completely different than immediately you turn the conversation back to you all the time. Raise your hand if you know someone like this. Exactly. Always. She turns the conversation, he turns the conversation about himself. And by the way, that does not mean that the person is bad, is an evil person. No, they do not notice most of the time. He changes. Please listen to me, let me enjoy my moment. Oh, wallahi, we just we moved to a new house. You too? I moved to a new house last week and always he has an answer that divert the whole conversation to anyone other than the person talking. Okay? So badl al-ma'roof, doing good, any kind of good. My sister wants to move from one place to another. I will be the first. The brother is moving. I will be the first. Do you need any help? My car is ready. I have my 3 sons and cousins. We will all come and help you. Any kind of ma'roof, any kind of ma'roof. Be the first one to always jump. Did you hear? Sister so-and-so is sick. Yalla. Let's go visit her in the hospital. Let's go visit him. You know the visiting in the hospital, what happens? Subhanallah. Can you imagine? If I tell you, how do you feel if I tell you there is 70,000 righteous people sitting in the masjid next door, all of them are making dua for you? How do you feel? 70,000 righteous people, good, nice people, amazing, the best. We chose the best among the Muslims on earth and we put them in a masjid and we said, make dua for Saeed, make dua for Ahmed, make dua for Aisha. How do you feel? How do you feel, sister? Amazing, right? Forget about these 70,000 people because they could sin. 70,000 angels that never sinned and will never sin are making dua for the person who visit the sick till he finish the visit. If you go in the morning, they will stay making dua till the evening. Ya Allah, forgive him. Ya Allah, forgive her. Ya Allah, have mercy on her. Just because I went literally 1 to 2 minutes to visit a sick person. And you know what? You will not know the value of visiting the sick until you are sick, stuck in the hospital, and no one is visiting you. Then you will know, wow, what a beautiful deen. Look at the huge reward just because I went and I put a smile on my sister's face. So all this is under badl al-ma'roof. One of the greatest badl of ma'roof, and this is very important. What's your name, brother? In the back, yeah. Hisham? Okay. Hisham came to me and said 3 weeks ago, and he said, let's say, no, he did not say anything. I found out from Hisham that he lost his job. He lost his job. And it's been 2 months. And he's still looking actively. As a Muslim brother, as a Muslim sister that have akhlaq, I do not wait for Hisham to come and tell me things are getting tough, I need some financial help. The true Muslim will go and help without waiting for the person to ask. This is Islam. Wallahi, Hisham, may Allah keep you on your job, inshallah, and bless you. I had a brother, he was, mashallah, very well off. And things turned around unbelievably. That's why, be careful, the ni'am do not last. And we found out that he lost his practice. Someone complained about him. He's a doctor. He closed his practice. He's telling me this story after, things went back to close to normal. He said, Wallahi ya Sheikh, brother so-and-so came to me and hugged me and put $5,000 in my pocket. And he did not say anything. When I went home, $5,000, where did this come from? Wallahi, he did not even mention it to me. This is akhlaq. This is deen. Unfortunately, طيب, what do you expect, especially living in the West? Someone losing his job for a month or 2 or 3. We all know how bad it is. So you're waiting for the brother to tell you? No, you are a person with akhlaq. And keep in mind, what goes around comes around. Sooner or later, you're going to need someone to support you somehow. Maybe not financially, it could be anything. Wallahi, just because you help your brother, you help your sister at a time of need, Allah will send you someone when you really need them. Allah will send you. This action will not go to waste. This is all from akhlaq. This is all from akhlaq. And the third one, kaffil adab, withholding any harm, refraining from any harm. Even a word, sometimes it could have so much damage. Listen to this scenario, very close to the other scenario that we were discussing. So, what's your name, brother? Maharaj? Maharaj. So how often does your wife cook? No, don't answer. So let's say Maharaj said, say something, Maharaj. How often does she cook? Every day. Now let's, for the sake of the conversation, say once a week. I go and say, once a week? My wife cooks every day. And I leave. Brother Ahmed, how often does your daughter-in-law visit you? Wallahi, they come once a week, once every 2 weeks. Really? Oh, they come visit me 3-4 times a week. Assalamu alaikum. How much do you make? Oh, for 10 years you're still making the same money? I just joined the company, they gave me promotion. You throw this poison arrow and you leave. The guy said, so why are you visiting us only once every 2 weeks? My cousin Ahmed, his daughter-in-law, she comes 3 times a week. Why don't you come? And he starts, how often does your son call you? You threw these things. These are called adha. These are poisonous arrows that you throw and you leave, and you do not know the damage that you have caused. This is one of the ways you withhold your harm. Sometimes words, for example, Assalamu alaikum, brother, how are you? Alhamdulillah. How long have you been married? Wallahi, 5 years. MashaAllah, how many children? We say it innocently, right? But I did not know that the guy has been touring the world to have a baby. And after that, I have 6 of them. Or someone just told me, I got laid off. Oh, really? I just got promoted. All this is, think before you speak. Think before you talk. Because you could be really causing a lot of harm. And that shows bad manners. Any kind of refraining from any kind of adha. Even, sometimes you go in the masjid, and I see this all the time. You see a tissue on the ground. You say to pick it up. No, it's not mine. Pick it up, ya habibi. It's the house of Allah. Pick it up, even if it's not yours. And by the way, I don't know about you here in Australia, but in I'm sure probably you're close enough. In America, most Muslims are PhD in complaining. PhD in everything. Why this thing, especially about the masajid. And you ask him to volunteer 1 hour every 3 weeks. Wallahi, I don't have time. طيب يا حبيبي, why are you complaining about the other volunteers? Oh, this wall, it needs painting. Habibi, go get paint and ask the management if you want to paint. Yalla. No, subhanallah. Any kind of thing you can do good and pick up any evil from the street, from the masjid, from in your house, any kind of other, withholding it back is considered from good manners. So good manners are smiling face, doing good, and withholding any kind of evil. All three together, all three combined. Not I'm having smiling face and yalla, backbiting all day, all night, Let me give you an idea since we opened the topic of backbiting. Or you know what, let's keep it till the end because it's an extremely important topic and I think we're out of time, right, Sami? Okay, we will talk about it. It's very, very important. This is one of the worst evil manners. So what's coming up later? How to acquire good manners. How to acquire good manners and some examples of good manners and examples of evil manners. Jazakumullah khair. We'll see you inshallah ta'ala. Also, we will have some Q&A after inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah. We mentioned the virtues of having good manners. We mentioned what Allah Azza wa Jal and Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said about good manners. We defined good manners. Now, let's discuss how can we acquire these good manners. First, subhanallah, what is the purpose for my and your existence? Why are we here? We are here to worship Allah Azza wa Jalla. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is the only way to get to the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jalla. I am here to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. In tuti'uhu tahtadu. If you obey him, you are guided. Look at the honor that Allah gave Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He said, وَمَن يُطِعِ الرَّسُولِ فَقَدْ أَطَاعَ اللَّهِ. I get goosebumps. Can you imagine this honor? Whomsoever obey the messenger, he has obeyed Allah. طيب. So the first way, or the first method, or the first tool to have good manners, ask yourself, what would the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam do in that state, in that situation that I am in? How would he react? How would he behave in this situation? You know, Christians in the 90s, it was very big. What would Jesus do? Anybody familiar with that or no? It was not WWJD. It was all over t-shirts, bracelets, necklaces, WWJD. In our situation, WWMD. What would Mohamad do? In this situation, what would Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam do? Any situation that you could be going through, ask yourself, what would Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam do? How would he react? That's number one, to try to acquire good manners. Number two, just listening and knowing the rewards we mentioned. If my job on this dunya is to worship Allah, to gain the love of Allah, to gain the love of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to go to Jannah, and I found out that the way to acquire them all by having good manners, so let me improve my manners. And if someone tells you, you work at this company, at this job, and the only way to get the CEO to be pleased with you is 1, 2, 3. If I want to be promoted, if I want to have a really good position at that company, logically, let me do what pleases him. So here, Rasulullah ﷺ taught us that the most beloved to Allah, the most beloved to me, the heaviest thing in the scale, the most thing that lead people to Jannah is good manners. And I'm here to get all these. So logically, let me fix my manners. Let me fix my manners. Third, good company. Good company. Ask anyone. When I was in New York, a brother called me. He said, please, Sheikh, I want you to come over just for a few minutes. It's very, very important. I went to his house, subhanAllah, I'm talking about 20 years ago. I would say at least $3.5 million. You name a car, it's parked outside. Mansion. I walked in, he started, very welcoming and all that. I said, how can I help you? He said, my son. He tried heroin. Now, he's completely gone. Where is he? We just brought him from upstate New York back home. Can you please talk to him? I said, yes, but please leave me alone with him. Habibi, what a gorgeous, handsome boy. 6-something feet tall, blue eyes, amazing. Habibi, what happened? My friend. Ask anyone who went the wrong way. 99%, my friend. They told me, give it a shot, try it. So one of the greatest ways to have good manners is surround myself by people who have good manners. You have people in your circle that actually have great manners. Stay with them, hang out with them, because they eventually will rub off on you. قل لي من تعاشر أقول لك من أنت. Rasulullah ﷺ said, tell me who's your friend, I'll tell you who you are. And I'm sorry, the saying in Arabic, it says, tell me who's your friends, I'll tell you who you are. And Rasulullah ﷺ said, المرء على دين خليله. A person is on the path of his best friend. My best friend is from the people of the masajid, from the people of the halaqas, from the people of the durus. He will bring me with him. My friend is from the people of pubs and clubs and tattoos and all that. He will take me with him. So if I want to fix my manners, let me surround myself with people of good manners. A true friend, a really good friend, is a friend that when you see him, when you see her, she reminds you of Allah Azza wa Jalla. You see that friend that came to your mind right now? That, stick to them. Then we have a problem if no one came to you. That's a problem. Good friends. Fourth, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam did not leave an occasion, anything except he taught us a dua for. Ask Allah to fix your manners. Is there a dua from the Sunnah to fix my manners? Anybody knows what dua is? Excellent. Allahumma, this is a little bit different. Allahumma kama hassanta khalqi, hassin khuluqi. Ya Allah, just like you have perfected my image, my creation, perfect my manners. Repeat after me. Allahumma kama hassanta khalqi hassin khuluqi. Khalqi, creation. Khulu, to dhamma, is manners. Ya Allah, just like you perfected my creation, perfect my manners. Repeat this dua constantly if you are really seriously want to improve your manners. طيب. Let's take an example. Or before that, the scholars said there are 4 ahadith that if you apply them in your life, they have included all the best of manners. All the best of manners. What are these 4 ahadith that summarize manners in Islam? Number 1. من كان يؤمن بالله واليوم الآخر فليقل خيرا أو ليصمت. First hadith. If you believe in Allah and the last day, say good, say something good, beneficial, or be quiet. Second hadith. One of the signs of good manners, تركه ما لا يعنيه, staying away from what does not concern you. Third, love to your brother what you love to yourself. Fourth, لا تغضب. Don't get angry. All these 4, if you look at them, all kinds of manners, any manner that you could think of is in one of these ahadith. And if you want to summarize them all in one, love to your brother what you love to yourself. Love to your sister what you love to yourself. Whatever you're about to do or you're about to say, would you like that done to you? If yes, go ahead. If not, stop. Anger, oh my God, anger. How many homes are destroyed because of anger? How many relationships are broken because of anger? How many wars erupt because of anger? Listen to this. I don't know how strict the rules are here. It took us so long, so many shuyukh in Dallas to fix this issue. A brother had a fight with his wife at home. In the heat of the moment, he took a plate and he threw it at his wife. The wife ducked. The plate hit the daughter, 6 years old, in her neck. Yani it was almost at the end, so it just left a mark here. She was not harmed. Next day, the girl went to school. Hi, honey, what is this on your neck? 6-year-old. The whole thing in details. No hiding anything, no, everything. Long story short, they took all the kids from the household, put them in a non-Muslim home. We kept on fighting courts and this in order to bring them back. All of that started with a moment of anger. Anger is one letter short of danger. Very dangerous. The funniest thing is when the man comes to me and he said, "Ya Shaykh, wallahi, I divorced my wife. But I was very angry." I say, "Habibi, have you ever heard of a man coming home? His wife welcomed him. She cooked his favorite dish. She massaged his back when he walked in. Habibi ayuni, she kissed him. And then he looked in her eyes and he say, 'Honey, you are divorced.'" Obviously you were angry. Every divorce happened when you're angry. So anger, to control your anger is one of the greatest manners. As a matter of fact, Allah praised وَالْكَاظِمِينَ الْغَيْظِ. The one who control their anger, they are from the muttaqeen. Allahumma ja'alna minhum ya Rabbil Alameen. Controlling the anger is one of the greatest manners, especially because sometimes you control your anger and you have no other choice. It's the police, it's the federal government, it is the boss. No, the best way or the best reward is when you control your anger and you can do damage. You are the boss and you control your anger. You are the mother and you control your anger. You're the father and you control your anger. You are the boss and you control your anger. You could have done so much damage. That is the anger that has to be controlled. So, those 4 ahadith have summarized the good manners. Now, let me give you a couple of good manners to adopt and a couple of evil manners to stay away from. There's a great good manner, beautiful. It's called ithar. Ithar in Arabic. Anybody knows what ithar means? Rahaf? You favor others over yourself. Is it mentioned in the Quran? Yes. وَيُؤْثِرُونَ عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ وَلَوْ كَانَ بِهِمْ خَصَاصَةٌ. Ithar. When you favor someone over yourself. Listen to what the Sahaba did or how they practiced ithar. We all know that the Sahaba left Mecca and went to Medina, right? Now when the Ansar welcomed them in Medina, they have practiced so much ithar. But before I mention the ithar, I want you to think about the state the Sahaba were in. Imagine that I say right now, okay, brothers and sisters in this room, you're not going home. As you are right now, we are all moving to Mexico. Sheikh, let me get some. Nothing. Yalla. I don't know anybody in Mexico. Doesn't matter. Let's go. And multiply it by 100 times. This is exactly what happened from the people who migrated from Mecca to Medina. They don't know nobody there. It's not like there was phone calls and no one. They were not, and they have nobody to welcome them. Nothing. So the Ansar, when they came, and also put yourself in the Ansar, immediately, all of a sudden, I will bring 500 people and to your community and say, sisters, brothers, you got to take care of them. So they opened their homes and all that, and we all know the stories of the Ansar and the Muhajirin. But listen to this story, subhanAllah. Now, after the Muhajirin moved into Medina, when the Ansar used to get the crops of the dates, Medina is full of dates, date trees, right? So they used to collect the dates, and they say to themselves, when you get the dates, there are some good dates and there are some bad dates, right? So the Ansar, the people of Medina, used to say, take the whole crop to the Muhajirin, let them pick first. Let them pick the dates first, and then we will take the rest. Look at the akhlaq of the Ansar. So they took the dates to the Muhajirin. What did the Muhajirin do? Allahu Akbar. They picked the bad dates so they can keep the good dates to the Ansar. This is ithar. You wonder to yourself, who's better? Who's better here? That's why they are Sahaba. They picked the bad dates. No, khalas yallah, we'll manage, inshallah. These are the people of the land. This is ithar. You favored someone over yourself even though you need it so bad. Allah said, وَيُؤْثِرُونَ عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ وَلَوْ كَانَ بِهِمْ خَصَاصَةٌ. You know what khasasa means? They used to do ithar even though they have khasasa. What does khasasa? Extreme hunger. وَيُطْعِمُونَ الطَّعَامَ عَلَىٰ حُبِّهِ مِسْكِينًا وَيَتِيمًا وَأَسِيرًا. They used to give the food even though they love it so much. They used to give it to the miskin. This is ithar, favoring others over yourself. You know, it happens a lot when you are in a leader position. Sheikh, we need you here. And I'm looking at the bed and I'm dreaming of sleeping. You leave that and then you go and help someone. You are about to do something and then they tell you, come, we need you to do something else. Without mentioning, and you know that I was going to bed, and you don't remind them of what you're doing. You immediately perform ithar. Can someone share an ithar story? Did anybody did ithar ever? Yes. Give her the mic, 1 second. No, you're echoing.
Yeah, testing. Better. It's loud. Okay.
Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah, just slowly, speak slowly.
Maybe like this?
Yeah.
I was saying one of the stories of Ithar that I witnessed recently is, subhanAllah, I really wanted something. It was a dress that I really wanted, and then one of the ladies was looking at it at a shop, and then it was the last week, so I told her she can have it. And then subhanAllah, not long after that, one of my friends actually gifted me that same dress.
Allah.
I feel like when it comes to Ithar, you see the rewards in this dunya somehow.
Subhanallah.
Yeah.
Jazakallah khair. I know.
Basic story.
Anytime you ask a sister for a story, it has to do something with shopping. Jazakallah khair, sister. No, you know, subhanallah, beside the feeling that you made the person feel, the feeling that you felt, priceless. Priceless. And you know when is the peak of it? When no one knows except him. He knows how much you needed that money. Like a brother came, subhanAllah, he said, Sheikh, I know you love to tell stories, so I'm going to tell you this story. He had a business in New York, and a man came to him, a brother came to him, and he was having major financial problem. And the guy, the owner of the store, he said, Wallahi ya Sheikh, all my savings, it was such a bad month, all I have was $200 in my pocket. That's all I had. That's it. Nothing, I don't know where's the rent money gonna come. I don't know nothing. And the man walked in and he said, brother, wallahi, I'm in dire need. They turned off the electricity, the power in the house, and I have kids. So the brother said, how much is your bill? He said, $200. He said, I put my hand in my pocket. Sure, go ahead. He said, I was crying that I'm broke now. And I'm also so happy that I helped somebody. He said, Wallahi. 2 days later, a phone call. I got a phone call from a weird number. I picked up the phone and I said, who's this? He said, this is so-and-so. I said, where have you been, ya akhi? He said, a brother that borrowed from me $10,000 8 years ago, and he stopped answering my calls 4 or 5 years. And you know those kind of debts that khalas, you gave up, no more. I gave up on them, no way. He changed his number because of how many times I called him. He called him in 2 days and said, brother, please forgive me. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed me with so much money right now. Give me your address. I want to send you the $8,000. The ithar is unbelievable. I want you to practice it. It could be a small thing. It could be you just have a candy you're about to eat and your brother came, can I have it? And you're looking at it. that moment. Or another thing that happens many times, they tell you, okay, sister, we are collecting some clothes to send to some poor people, some needy people. You know, it happens to all of us. What do? We open the closet. The most stained shirt, the most shirt with holes, this is the one we give away. I want you next time to give the shirt you got yesterday. Just to try, just to fight your desire. It's not haram if you don't give another shirt. Don't get me wrong. You can give whatever you want, it's a giving. But I want to fight my desire. My desire is to keep that shirt. And I want to see how bad is my desire, how strong. And then the feeling you will get because you gave that shirt, unbelievable. Unbelievable. So try to practice ithar. By the way, anybody else have any other story? Brothers? You have a story? Okay. By the way, you know, we are just sharing stories to encourage each other, not to show off. Look at me and congratulate me after and give me a hug. Alaikum salam.
This isn't my personal story, but what we were talking about Akhlaaq reminded me of a story I heard about Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, about how every time that he was given a gift, he always used to share with us about his companions. And then one day, a man came in who was very poor, and he finally got the chance to be able to give a gift to Mohammed sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Please forgive me if I'm making mistakes in saying this story, but he approached him with grapes, and Mohammed sallallahu alaihi wasallam ate every single one of these grapes, and he never did this before. And after the man left, the companions came up and said, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, why didn't you share? Who won't share with us? Why didn't you share these grapes? And he said to his companions that the grapes were sour, and he was concerned that if he shared them with anyone else, that the man who finally been able to give a gift to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam would be offended. And so he ate every one of them, just in case one of the companions ate a grape and made a face and he felt bad about it.
Subhanallah. Subhanallah. The stories of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the companions with ithar, it will make you feel, are you kidding me? Are you serious? You keep telling yourself, this is unreal. The second characteristic is a little bit close, karam, generosity. Please be as generous as possible. And let me tell you one thing very important. You're going to be probably surprised. Listen to this statement. Generosity has nothing to do with how much money do you have. It's either you're generous or you're not. It's not, you know what money does to a person? Money increases what you are. If you are generous and you get a lot of money, that will increase you in generosity. If you are bakhil, you're stingy, and you get a lot of money, you'll be more stingy. Many people think that a stingy person, if he get money, he will start splashing money all over. No, he will get more stingy. So karam, generosity, is by your nature. You could have only $100 and you'll be extremely generous, and you could have $1 million and you don't think of sharing your wealth with anyone. Be generous. Generosity, subhanallah. One of the most thing that will attract you to a person before you know anything about them. You just love their generosity. And on the other side, the bukhl, which is one of the evil things I want to talk about, stinginess. Sisters, brothers, listen to me carefully. How many of you have, raise your hand, how many of you have daughters that are looking for marriage, or you're going to get married soon? Raise your hand. Not going to get married soon? Okay, brothers, okay, listen to me carefully. If a man approaches you to marry your daughter or to marry you, listen carefully. If he is Hafiz of the Quran, Hafiz Bukhari, Muslim, all 6 books of Hadith, and he's bakhil, kick him outside the house. If he's a millionaire and bakhil, throw him outside the house. Doctor, lawyer, engineer, and bakhil, throw him outside the house. You will suffer. Your daughter will suffer with a bakhil husband. The worst thing he could ever be as a husband is bakhil. Sister came to me. If you don't hear the story from me, you would think this story is made up. After I was talking about bukhl one time, a sister came and said, Sheikh, I want to tell you how bakhil is my husband. I said, Bismillah. Before he leaves the house, he brings the bottle of olive oil. And he measures how many inches of oil in the bottle. Let's say, Ya Sheikh, it was 7 inches. If he comes back home and he found it 1 inch less, hell erupts in the house. Where did that inch of olive oil go? How could you live with someone like this? This guy should come to our house and see how much olive oil we use. Lebanese, Palestinian, Suri, all the people from Bilad al-Sham, we drink olive oil. Just like water. You know, okay, I'm going to stop here because otherwise there's a story, listen to this story. There's a book called Al-Bukhala. There's a book called The Stingy People. So the Sheikh mentioned a story about stinginess. Listen to this, you're gonna enjoy it. He said, a man came to visit one of the most stingy people in that village. A visitor came. So this man, the stingy man, told his son, we have a guest, go to the market and get us the best meat, the best beef, to cook for our guest. So the boy went to the butcher. He said, Baba said, give me the best meat to cook for our guest, best steak. He said, Wallahi, the butcher said, I have steak like butter. So the kid said, let me go get butter then. So cancel the steak. He went to the grocery store. He said, do you have butter? He said, I have butter like honey. Honey? Go to the other store. Went and get, I'm just paraphrasing, it's a long story. I have honey just like, so smooth, just like water. I said, water? We have water at home. So he came back empty-handed. He told his father, Baba, this is what happened. The guy said this, that. And then he said, I'm going to give you honey like water. So, and we have water at home. Why should I waste the money? So the father put his hand on his son's shoulder. Wallahi, I raised you right. I raised you right. Good son. But you made one mistake. said, what is it, Baba? He said, you went to all these stores wearing the shoe. So that means the shoe lost of its, durability with all these strips. He said, Baba, I used the guest shoe. يعني بخيل أبدا. So بخل, stinginess, is the worst manner you could ever have. I will end with the ghiba because unfortunately it's one of the worst manners you could ever have. What is ghiba? Who's going to help me? Where's the mic? What is ghiba? Who can define ghiba for me? Backbiting. Brother.
Did you say riba or riba?
Ghiba.
Riba, like backbiting?
Yeah.
So just speaking of gossiping, speaking behind someone's back, saying something you would have said in the face.
Okay. So saying something behind someone's back. Okay, riba is three things. Saying something behind someone's back in their absence, they do not like it to be said. Third, it is true. No, it's not false. It is true. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he was defining the ghiba, the man came and said, Ya Rasulullah, what if it's true? He said, that is ghiba. And if it's not true, it will become ايش? Slander, buhtan. Buhtan. Okay? طيب. So now, ghiba, definition of ghiba, saying absence, don't like it, true. If it's not true, becomes buhtan. All right? Why ghiba is so bad? Allah Azza wa Jal, the all merciful, He said, or He made ghiba resemble, can you imagine, we bring a body right here, dead body of our brother, and I give you each one a fork and a knife, and I say, Yallah, please, after we finish the lecture, everybody take a piece of flesh from that dead body. Allah gave that example when I backbite. And it's so easy to fall into backbiting. I was in the khutbah, I was giving them the example of Aisha radiallahu anha. Listen up, sisters. Wallahi, after I finished the khutbah one time in Dallas about backbiting, a brother came to me, I said, Assalamu alaikum, brother, how are you? He said, after the khutbah, I'm not talking anymore. I said, you can answer the salam. He said, no more, I don't talk. Wallahi, if you listen to my khutbah about backbiting, you literally do not talk anymore. You will think 100 times before you talk. Why? Backbiting. Aisha was with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and we all know this hadith. Safiya walked in. As she's leaving, what did she do? Gestured. In one narration, she gestured. And another narration, she said, qasira. She's short. Short. يا عائشة لقد قلت كلمة لو مزجت في البحر لمزجته. يا عائشة, you've said a word. If it was mixed with the ocean, it will become contaminated. How many times she's fat, she's tall, she's this, she's that, I think she's the reason for the divorce. No, her husband, you know what she did? And we start talking, and the person is not present. Anytime my sister, my brother, anytime people start talking about someone who's not present, number one, can you please stop, sister? She's not here. I can say it in her face, but she's not here right now. Can you please stop? No. You carry yourself, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Otherwise, if you start shaking your head, you're a partner in the crime. What's the dalil that you're a partner in the crime? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they just buried a Sahabi. He was walking and two Sahaba were behind him. They start talking about the man that they buried. One of them was telling the other, this man was this man, how could he not learn from his mistake? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam passed by a dead goat. He said, come, both of you, come, eat from this goat. He said, Ya Rasulullah, this is maita, it's haram to eat from it. He said, what you just did, what you just did is worse than eating from this dead goat. And it was only one of them talking and the other shaking his head. The ghiba is so subtle to fall into. I'll give you a good example. Someone, Hisham, asked me, what do you think of Saeed? Hisham asked me, what do you think of brother Saeed? And Saeed was not there. All I said was, can you please change the topic? I did not ever even mention the word Saeed. Is this backbiting or no? I fell into backbiting already. Or very common among the Arab. Huh? Ya Habibi, Allah khalik, I'm fasting. Don't ruin my fast. You already ruined it. That does not indicate anything good about the person. So, one of the Salaf, he said something beautiful. He said, for 40 years, I did not say a word except if Allah asked me, why did you say it? I have an answer. And another, he said, and this is something, wallahi, I wish we could try it one day. One guy is so worried about the word he utters. He said, one of the Salihin, he said, I have made a quota. Sami, can you imagine? He made a quota. Today, I'm going to speak 400 words. After they finish, sign language. I have a quota. I cannot exceed that. Khalas. No more. I'm done for the day. These people, a man came to Rasulullah. I could talk till tomorrow about ghiba, but we're going to finish inshallah. Ya Rasulullah, I will end with this. He said, Man najat? How can I be saved on the day of judgment? Can you imagine? You know what he said? Amsik alayka lisanak. Control your tongue. One of the best manners is to always think before we speak. If it's good, Bismillah. If it's not, stop. I ask Allah Azza wa Jal, who gathered us here, to bless us with good manners. Especially, I have to mention this since there are a lot of youth here. Their good manners, first and foremost, start with your parents. Your parents, your parents, your parents. Unfortunately, we have great manners with everybody else except our parents. Your parents, Allah said, وَقُلْ لَهُمَا قَوْلًا كَرِيمًا. Even the words you're uttering and saying to your parents, they have to be honorable. You have to think before you speak to your parents. Make sure you always talk to them with the best of manners. I ask Allah, who perfected our creation, to perfect our manners.
We're just going to open the floor to some questions, inshallah. Anyone have any questions? Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
If you are in a situation that you are a company owner or a director, now talking about the other director performance of your employee who is not present there. So when you talk about the weakness or strength, isn't it falling into the riba?
If you are asked, and you are the person who, what do you call that word? Not only reference, if you're asked about the performance and you're in charge of the performance to report, then you're doing your job. There's nothing wrong with that at all. As a matter of fact, I was not going to go into this, but it's very important. There are 6 situations, you could write them down, they are not considered ghiba. There are 6 situations that are not considered ghiba. Quickly, they take forever, but I'm going to mention quickly. Number one, if someone comes and asks you, this person wants to marry my daughter, what do you think of him? You cannot, if you know something evil, you cannot say, oh, I don't want to backbite. It's haram not to tell the truth. Put it on yourself. If someone's coming to marry your daughter, you have to tell the truth. Someone wants to come and do business with you. And I know that he is a crook. He's bad, he's evil, he robs people. I have to tell you. So number one, if you are asked about someone for something major, yani marriage, business, all that. Second, identification. What does identification mean? I say, brothers, do you know brother Saeed? Which Saeed? Saeed, he comes and prays with us in the first row. No. And then I said, the tall one, the short one. If I said that as identification, I have to purify my intention, then it's not considered ghiba. Third, if I am seeking a fatwa from a mufti, I have to tell him the whole situation. Who's this person? Because if it was a qareeb, different than if it was just a stranger. Fourth, if I'm talking to someone in authority, what does that mean? I saw your son smoking. I spoke to him to stop, he did not. If I talk to the father, Habibi, your son is smoking, and I spoke to him, someone in authority, someone can do a change in that person, then it's not considered ghiba because you're looking for the welfare of that person. Okay? Number 5, listen to this one. If the person is doing the sin publicly, it's not ghiba to say that he's doing it. Yani she's posting her pictures at the beach. He's posting his picture on Instagram, hugging a girl and drinking beer. So if I say, oh, he has a girlfriend, he's putting it in a public platform, right? Number 5. Number 6, إذا كان مظلوم. If someone is wronged, someone is oppressed, and he's seeking a ruling from the judge. It's different than the fatwa. Seeking a ruling from the judge, then he's allowed to tell all the truth and whatever needs to be told to the judge. All these 6 situations, they are not considered ghiba.
So this really is similar to the one that you mentioned, but I just want to confirm if I speak with someone about someone else's wrongdoing, so someone just discussion or something, and then he gives me advice or no, he shouldn't have done this. Is that considered ghiba?
You're not mentioning names and anything?
No, but he was present and he saw the whole thing, and then he comes to me later on and he says, he did the wrong thing or something like that.
I don't know why I'm not hearing you properly.
So let's say there's 2 people speaking together.
2 people speaking together.
Yes. And someone else was witnessing the whole situation.
Okay.
And then he comes in and speaks to me about it, and he says, it's not, what he did was not the right thing. Would that be considered ghiba?
It's not ghiba, it's worse. This is worst. It's called namima. There's ghiba, buhtan, namima, and the worst of them all, ifk. I will explain quickly. Ghiba, we defined. Buhtan, we defined. Same as ghiba, but it's not true. Anybody knows what namima is? Namima? No. Namima is, I go to Saeed and I say, do you know what Ahmed said about you? That's called namima. And I think this is what you meant. No? But let me finish. So namima is going to a person and you tell them, do you know what that other person said about you? Do me a huge favor. Anytime someone comes to you and say, do you know what so-and-so said about you? It is going to take so much effort from you. And it's going to prove your level of iman when you say, no, I don't want to hear it. You killed them. You killed them. Are you sure? But I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. You kill them. Because there's a formula. Man namma laka, namma alayk. Whomsoever comes and tells you what others are saying about you, they're going to go to others and say what you are saying about them. This is a formula. This is tried, guaranteed, and done forever. And the worst one is ifk. Anybody knows what ifk is? And look at this. Even though it's the worst, the easiest to fall into. They're saying, people are saying, the community, they're talking about this. I don't know, I heard. This is the worst. That's why Allah called the incident of our mother Aisha, Hadithat al-Ifk. Why? Nobody saw nothing. Nobody knows nothing. Nothing took place. And the whole Medina was talking about this. It's called ifk. Ifk is the worst. And ifk is when you start also spreading and forwarding messages that you have no clue if it's true or not. Yallah, sounds good. Forward. Subhanallah. Let's go back to your question. So two people are talking, and then one heard them, and then he came to you and said, whatever they're saying is not right?
Yes, that's correct.
And that, whatever they're saying, is that something that concerns you?
Yes.
That's namima.
Sorry, I'll explain again.
Okay.
I am speaking with someone.
You are speaking?
Yes.
Okay.
And then someone says something that is not right.
Okay.
And then someone else is witnessing it, comes to me and says, what you did was correct and he was wrong. Is that namima?
No. This is nothing wrong with it. He's just correcting you. No. Alaikum salam.
I have two questions. So the first one is very similar to someone else before. So if a person is seeking advice, or for example, if they go into therapy, like to a psychologist, and they have to tell about someone else something that happened to them, which we don't know it could be true or false, but is this falling into any category because they're exposing something about a third person?
Yeah. If they can avoid mentioning the person, that would be great. But even if they mention him and the person, the psychologist does not know, it's okay. And even if they know, it will go under the 6 categories because he's seeking help. He's sincerely seeking advice, not just talking about someone.
Okay. And then the second one is more of an observation. So there are some online people in the Dawah scene who tend to expose each other or expose other people online in the name of warning the community. But sometimes it appears as if it's a bit insincere just to kind of shame other people. What do you have to say about this? Like sometimes we come across it unintentionally, so if we can avoid, reading the article or watching the video, we try to do that. But sometimes you might be, taking the lectures from a certain sheikh or someone in the Dawah scene, and then you see a video that's, saying they're warning people about this. What about this issue? I find it's happening a lot more, and it's a bit concerning.
If that sheikh have done something that is absolutely haram, absolutely wrong, and he did not himself come and correct himself, then it is a must upon a person to warn the people. But before I warn the people about that person, I have to make sure did not leave any effort to contact that sheikh first. Please, brother, you are my brother in Islam. I just gave a talk. Al-mu'min mir'at al-mu'min. The believer is the mirror of his fellow believer. You are my mirror, brother. And you said this thing, and 1, 2, 3, this is wrong. Please go, just like you said it in public, please go ahead and apologize. And if it was, if it was actually a mistake, You wanna?
If we listen to this, like supposedly warning, we're not sure. Like sometimes it's not, like we're not sure.
No, I'm talking about how is this something to be, how it should be handled.
Yes.
The person, the sheikh who's going and exposing other people, this is what he's supposed to do first. And like you said, I have no clue if he did that or not. So what I would do is, if I have trust in that sheikh, and I've been listening to them for a long time, and I have seen no, you see, this is another thing, which I will give you this advice myself. Don't ever be attached to me personally, attached to my da'wah, attached to the good things I'm teaching you, because I'm a human being. I could fall into a sin, and then like one time in New York, a brother, a sheikh, very well known, he made a mistake. And a brother came to me and he said, Wallahi, if this is true, I'm leaving Islam. Because we get so attached to the character. You know what our Salaf said? If you really want to follow a sheikh that passed away already, because he will not make mistakes anymore. So a human being, I will take the good from them. If there's something that is obviously hugely wrong, then I would leave them alone. And these people who are keep complaining, subhanAllah, I don't know how sincere are they in really guiding others or not. Because sometimes, like you said, it could be just, I want to show off. I want to get more followers than this guy. It could be, which is a sickness. It's a huge sickness. And it could be also sincere that he tried so much to contact the person, and the guy has so many followers, and the ruling he gave is absolutely no difference of opinion that it's wrong, then I have to say something.
Chef, and sometimes it does seem sensationalized, like they make it with these headlines and topics. But if we listen to this, do we fall into that participating in, what if the person that they're talking about is innocent, and we're listening to this whole conversation or this story? Do we fall into any of
If you listened, you listened. But to forward something like this without you really knowing, and this is unfortunately how these things spread. Oh my God, look what they're saying about this sheikh. Yallah, forward. And subhanAllah, when they found out that this whole thing was not true, there's no way you can retract, take back any of that stuff. And you will see it all on the day of judgment, just like we said before. So my advice is not to forward any of that stuff. Because like you said, if there's really, I'm talking about very, very rarely someone very well-known sheikh that has a huge past of authenticity, he would say something wrong. And if he did, usually there's something in Arabic said, al-i'tiraf bil-khata' fadila. Admitting that you are wrong is an honor. I'll tell you something. One time I said, if you are a true believer, you should not be depressed. Depression and true iman, they don't go together. In a lecture, after I finished, two brothers that are psychiatrists in the crowd, they came, Sheikh, we love you so much, but that statement is not true. So what do you mean? He said, iman helps a lot, even in Christians in depression. But to say that you are not a mu'min if you are depressed, this is a wrong statement. Why? He said there's chemical imbalance in the human body that leads to that sadness, even if you are a mu'min. The next day, wallahi, I stood in front of everybody and said, you know what, brothers and sisters, I get two professionals that I trust so much. They said that, they are very strongly related, but I cannot just make that statement openly. Iman helps a lot in controlling depression, but I cannot say, if you're depressed, you're not a mu'min. It's a huge statement. Yeah. So admitting that you're wrong is a fadila, is an honor. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, always remember, كل ابن آدم خطاء. Every son of Adam is a sinner. And I have no clue if that person repented or not, especially if the announcement was not done publicly. If someone did something privately and they repented, how do I know? I go and I spread the things that are evil about them. This is haram, wallahi. It's a major sin. Yeah.
How do you avoid burnout when serving the community? So emotional burnout.
Burnout, how do
Burnout, like when you serve so much, sometimes you just become overwhelmed, or you get tired, or you're like, people are frustrated to deal with sometimes. How do you help
did you attend our Salat workshop?
on Friday night?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wallahi. This is the best. And the proof that is the best is the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam when he used to tell Bilal, Arihna. Arihna biha ya Bilal. Ya Bilal, make the iqamah so we can feel at ease because I'm connected to my creator. Well, this is what I said in the beginning of the talk. If you are really praying the way it's supposed to pray, wallahi, you cannot wait for the next prayer. Because khalas, I am with my creator. I am with the one who can solve all my worries. And in my sujood, I can tell him whatever I want. So this is one of the ways that, spiritually, to control our stress and depression and anxiety and all that is with the salat. And similarly, we all know that Allah Azza wa Jal, He is the all. وَمَنْ أَصْدَقُ مِنَ اللَّهِ حَدِيثًا. He is the one who said, أَلَا بِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ تَطْمَئِنُّ الْقُلُوبِ. Wallahi, that by itself, listen to this. Allah is saying, by remembering me, your heart will feel at ease. And I'm remembering Allah and I'm not at ease. I have two options. Either the ayah is wrong or my remembrance is wrong. Sah? Right? Allah is saying, by you remembering me, and by the way, what does remembering me means? Does not only mean saying subhanallah, alhamdulillah. This is part of the remembrance. Remembering me means that anytime I have a decision to make, I remember Allah. Is it pleasing to Him? Bismillah. If it's not, I stop. That is remembering Allah. Salat is remembering Allah. Reading Quran is remembering Allah. So anytime you're stressed, wallahi, sit down with yourself, open the Quran and read. You will find ayat that will give you the solution or whatever you're going through. May Allah put ease and love and peace in your life. Ameen. Ya Rabbil Alameen.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalam, Habibi.
So I still go to high school. And
You still go to high school?
we're experiencing a situation in Jum'ah. So a bunch of students, almost like 50 to 40 students, attend Jum'ah prayer in a little classroom every week. Okay? And we have a volunteer teacher that comes and does the khutbah and leads the prayer every week. But sometimes this volunteer teacher, he's a Muslim, he's a great man, but sometimes he says wrong things about Islam when he makes these khutbah. For example, last year in December, it was Christmas time, and he made a khutbah about Christmas, and he said that
Merry Christmas, everybody.
yeah, basically, yeah. He said that.
Really?
Yeah. He said we're allowed to say Merry Christmas back when someone greets us like this. And he says that like we believe in like Jesus, we believe in him as a prophet. And he said that, but he said we're allowed to say Merry Christmas back. And I don't know how to tell like my fellow these other students what he says about what I don't know how to
I got
students to like take these things as a grain of salt because what you
I got the message. I got the idea. Number one, who's sending this volunteer?
the volunteer teacher
Yeah.
who's setting it up.
Who's sending him? Who's giving him the authority to give a khutbah?
It's not a Muslim school, so like
Still, there's somebody who's sending him. He's not just coming from the street. Someone is sending him, right? Who's giving him the permission to give a khutbah? I cannot go there and just.
he's a teacher. He's a math teacher at the school.
Aha. So he's the math teacher at the
Yeah,
school.
he's just a Muslim, he's a Muslim man that's found out that we were praying out by ourselves during Jum'ah, and he decided to come to him by himself, and he basically started holding it. Right?
Okay. Number one, you have to talk to your imam of the community and tell him to speak to him, not you. It comes very rude as a student coming to a teacher. Let one of the imams of the community tell him what's happening and tell him, please, can you speak to the brother? If the brother insists and he doesn't want to change, then you tell the brother that we are the youth, we are trying to train ourselves to become khatib, and we decided that every one of us will give a khutbah every week. We're going to alternate. So this way we are training ourselves, and it will be an amazing thing to hear a khutbah from people my age. Okay? And then you can go online and get my khutbahs. They're already 100% authentic. Take them and just say them. Because if you go to yourself or any of the 40 kids go to the teacher, he's not going to take the advice. In general, they do not take the advice. It has to come from a place of authority, the imam of the community. Let him talk to them. And then, like for example, in Dallas, we have, alhamdulillah, in public schools, they have Jumu'ah. But whoever goes there has been appointed by a brother that is authority. Okay, you go give here, you go give there, you go. And then we started this, you among yourselves, these are the khutbahs, prepare them and come and give them. I think the second option will be great, so you can train yourselves to become khatib also. Because the minute you stand up and you start giving khutbah, wallahi, your life will completely change. Because you could tell yourself all the time, how can I tell them what to do and I'm not doing it myself? You start fixing yourself. So there is a way. I wish I could talk to the brother, because these are huge problems. To say what you said.
I try to tell people around me to just take it with a grain of salt, but not in a disrespectful way.
No. You see, your Jumu'ah is the only source of Islamic knowledge to millions of Muslims. So whosoever is standing up there and talking, he is literally representing Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So he has to be qualified. He must be qualified. So I would take this matter very seriously and talk to the imam of the masjid and tell him, please, can you help us? This is what's going on. And I'm sure he will help, inshallah. By the way, did you notice something? That we spoke for 2 hours and we spoke about ghiba for 2 minutes. All the questions about ghiba.
I did have another question as well, but I thought I'll ask.
No, I'm not talking about you. This is what happens generally. All the time I mention ghiba, all the questions about ghiba. Which is good. That means you're scared. You're worried, which is good.
And you fall into it.
Exactly. That's why it's so dangerous. Otherwise, if it's something once in a blue moon, we don't mention it. That's the next tour. That's need a tour by itself. The mother-in-law. It's not. We call them the outlaws, not the in-laws. If you are, let me just finish the answer. Okay. If you're seeking advice from a person who is advice worthy, then you're okay. But if you are just venting to someone that's stranger, all they're gonna be, honestly, what are they gonna do? Either they're gonna be sad for you and they're not gonna do anything, or they're gonna be very happy that your life is miserable, or they cannot do anything. So if the person really has previously demonstrated that they have good experience in counseling marriage or in good advice, alhamdulillah. And she is very important. She is gonna keep all that between me and her. Otherwise, the worst thing you could ever do is to tell others about what's happening in your household. Okay? If that's the case, inshallah ta'ala, it should be no, not ghiba. And what was the other?
Talking about your children to other people.
Talking to your children about your children, what they do to you. Again, if it is something that you're seeking advice and you're trying to improve in your relationship with your children, and the people are really, mashallah, they have a good experience with their children, you can see the result in their life, bismillah, there should be no problem, inshallah.
And if it's for the venting purpose, it should only be just to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right?
The problem with the venting between the husband and the wife,
Or any relationship.
yeah, but mainly, they vent a lot with each other, and if you can keep no names, will be better. But no, don't, I'm not going to mention the name, it is our neighbor to the right.
Awesome. Ustadh, last question?
Yeah, who's the last question?
She actually talked about bragging and people often throwing poisonous arrows at you when you are in sort of gatherings. Just wanted to know how can we sort of avoid getting into those kind of situations, or and what can we do to stop people from quantifying about your personal matters and,
Okay.
and bragging in general.
Yeah.
What can you do? It's very important.
You are one of two. Either you are the one who's throwing the arrows, or you are the one who's receiving the arrows.
Sometimes you don't even say anything, and people just like to mention things, or sometimes you start something and then start bragging. So
I found out that one of the best ways in every situation is to literally think before you talk. There are so many times you want to explode, you want to say something evil. Do me a favor, count to 10. Count to 10 before you want to say something really bad. Let me ask you something. God forbid you stand up now and you start cursing me and calling me names and all that. What's the easy thing to do from me? That's the easy thing to do. Curse him back. That's the easy thing. The akhlaq is to let you finish and make dua for you. Ibn Mas'ud, radiallahu anh, he used to put the money, listen to the story, he used to put the money in his turban. A man came, took the money and stole the money and ran. So the people around Ibn Mas'ud, la'anahu Allah, may Allah curse him, may Allah this, may Allah that. You know what Ibn Mas'ud said? He said, Ya Rabb, if he needed that money, Ya Allah, put barakah in it. And if he did that as a sin, Ya Allah, make it his last sin. Talk about akhlaq. This is akhlaq. Because naturally, the easy way is to reply back and get more. What did Rasulullah say? لَيْسَ الشَّدِيدُ بِالسُّرْعَةِ. The strongest one among you is not the one who beats everybody in wrestling. The strongest one among you is the one who controls his anger. So, if I'm about to say something, and I ask myself, even though sometimes the topic is very juicy, you want to say something, there are already, everybody's talking about someone, and you know something else, you want to throw it in, control yourself. And also, number two, if the thing I'm about to say has no benefit whatsoever, not only has no benefit, it could harm others, and there's no need for it, stop. Now, if it is coming to me, I'm the one who's hearing these things, like, oh, he doesn't visit you, oh, he doesn't, how much do you make, I should not let all these things, let them hit and bounce. Hit and bounce. This is literally that person, what he's doing is called laghu, vain talk. Allah praised the people, عن اللغو معرضون. When they hear laghu, قالوا سلاما. Assalamu alaikum. We don't sit down in this kind of gathering. What is this? What are you discussing? So, wallahi, this is all from the akhlaq, how to act case by case. Jazakumullah khair.
Jazakallah khair, Sheikh. Really appreciate your time. I want to thank each and everybody for attending. I hope it beneficial. Please keep the Sheikh and his family in your dua. Get time back to Texas, inshallah. Thank you again. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Barakallah feekum. May Allah bless you. May Allah protect you. May Allah fill your home with love and mercy and tranquility. May Allah give our daughters the righteous husbands and give our sons the righteous wives. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase you in iman and increase you in akhlaq. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala surround our children with the righteous people. I love you all for the sake of Allah. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik. Nashhadu an la ilaha illa ant. Nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.